Alright guys, so we got it installed. So what I'm going to do is go over the install for you. I have to say that right here is the easiest power cable I've ever had to install. This is that red Crutchfield power cable I showed you. It's just got a wiring loom around it to protect it, and it goes right through the power. I cut a little tiny hole in the back and ran it right in through there, and it bolted right onto the main bolt. And then run it right along the firewall, zip tying it up nice and tight, running the loom on it. And then right down in there, you can see there's a little, it's actually a big grommet, one of the main cables that comes through to the computer area. It runs right down there and goes into the side, but as you can see right in there, I cut a little slit and ran it right through there. So now you can see how it goes. Like I said, it comes up, runs along top here right to the battery, and I just drilled spots through the plastic there to zip strip and hold it up. It's that'll keep it up off the engine, and it keeps it away from being hit by anything. So let's go inside now. All right, that's where the power cable comes in. Comes down around back behind the hood release and runs right along here, still wrapped in that loom. This is it right here. It's still wrapped in the loom. Goes along through this channel all the way back, and then it's pretty easy to pull through there. It might be scary for you, but once you get these panels up here, it actually is pretty easy to push it through here, and then it'll continue on under here to the back, and then it comes out from back here and then it just runs. There's the 120 amp fuse, and then runs right into the amp right there. The amp is screwed to a board that I have double-sided tape. It's 3M double-sided tape, a bunch of strips of it, holding it there because I didn't want to drill holes through the truck. And then this is screwed into the wood board, and that'll hold it plenty. And then the ground comes along, comes up, and it's grounded right here. So that's a pretty solid ground. Now, when you're running the power cord, it's a good time to run the RCAs and the remote for the base knob, and then also the remote for the power to turn it on. It's the remote that actually sends it and tells it to turn on. And that, when you have all this apart, run all that at the same time, and just you can bundle it all together and push it through. Right in here, I left this where I could show you. That RCA and stuff comes up in here and connects to the link 2 right there. And there's the remote that turns it on. The little extension cable that goes from it is right there. It has that blue, that's that blue right here. I just zip stripped it up in there and then ran that up and into the back of the radio module. There's plenty of videos on YouTube on how to pull that center console out. There's 4 little 7 or 8 millimeter screws, bolts. You take them out, that thing pops right out. 4 little more bolts that hold the radio module, because that face, when you pull it off, that's not the actual radio, it's the little square silver module down at the bottom. You unscrew it, pull it out a little bit, unpop that cable, pop the cable from the link 2 harness in, plug the one from the truck back into the link 2 harness. It makes a little Y section. The Y goes to that link 2, and that's what gives you a signal out to the amp. So, and then that's everything, man. It's actually pretty easy putting it together. The hardest part, I'd have to say, was probably just zip stripping everything up. Getting it all zip stripped, running the wires and zip stripping it. Making good cuts on the wire to make sure everything's tight. So, hold on. I'll give you a taste of what it sounds like with a 12-inch Sundown and a SFB 1500D in the truck. Okay, one last thing I wanted to show you the amp when the carpet's installed, so you can see, you know, that's what it looks like behind the seat. Carpet all installed, looking pretty, you know, so you can get an idea there. That other RCA cable sticking out, that's I ran dual stereo RCAs, so later if I want to add more mids and highs, they're already ran back there. And then this amp has an in and out pass through, so if you want to add on, that's available to do it. But see, it looks pretty good back there. And then the sub box sits right here, so let's see how it sounds. Well, we're back in the truck, and you might notice I've changed clothes. It's not actually just a little bit later, it's days later. I had to do some work on finding some music that's I can get licensed to play. So I did a little work, found a few songs that I think will show the ability of the subwoofer in with the factory system. So let's go right in and I'll show you what it can do. We'll go through 4 songs and let you hear the differences in the different genres a little bit. I listen to a broad range of music, so I think it did pretty well just for adding one subwoofer in, not changing anything else about the stereo. It's a factory 8.5-inch screen stereo, built in everything. All I did was add the line converter with the harness and run it to the amp, and then run the amp to the sub, and then run power for everything. So let's try this first song, see how it sounds. I can tell you I've already cheated and listened, and I think it sounds great, but we'll let you guys see as well. I can tell you that's only turned up about halfway too. I'm in my neighborhood, and I can tell you this thing is, if you wanted to, it'll rattle this vehicle, and I know my neighbors are probably loving it right now, but we're testing, right? For testing purposes. We'll turn it up a little more. Could you look at me the way you did before? I feel like I'm on the outside. Right? Sounds pretty good. Let's go to the next song.
Arsonist was rocking this. Flame on. Spit fire bright enough to eclipse the sun. Everything is daylight, so like I'm a native tongue. Street knowledge, combatant to practice war tactics. Usual suspects to flip it like a mattress. Global golden gun, one hit, competition's none. Leave them strung out, feeling like they hooked on drugs. I am not a gun, we're getting poppin' like bomb on New Year's Eve, and what we gon' start.
Oh yeah, sounds good. Man, just the change that adding one sub into a factory system will make. And I didn't go so huge with 15, so it, you know, the bass isn't overpowering, but it's really completes the sound. And on a 12-inch woofer and an 8-inch and a 10-inch, you don't have to void out all the mids. You can add just a little bit in there and get really put the range in there and kind of blend it in with the rest of the system, and that's what I try to do with this one. So let's go to the next one. A little bit different.
I've seen beautiful and I've seen blue, and I've got nothing I need to prove. I've covered oceans.
It sounds nice.
So many views, and I'm so lucky to be loved by you. And in the morning, lies coming through.
Oh yeah.
And I've got so much.
You gotta be able to play that range so when you're riding with your woman, you can play something like this and give her a little wink. Maybe she's a little tipsy from, you know, hanging out with everybody. Yeah. Alright, let's do one more. This one more. This might not be for everybody. Yeah. I am the producer. Man, sounds good. So, there you have it. That's the sounds right there. I think it's sounding great now. I'll put a link in here to everything, so if you want to emulate and do the same thing in your truck, you'll have a link to find everything. I think if you do, you'll be very pleasantly surprised with the new sound it brings out in the whole truck. And not for a small fortune either. So, hey, from Twisted Pine, like, subscribe, enjoy. Hey, comment, let me know what you think. And again, as always, if you don't like it, let me know. I don't care. Stay twisted.